Okay, welcome back. That was a very abrupt end to the last video. Sorry about that. I don't know what in the heck my computer did, but it just locked everything up on me. Anyways, I'm going to put this piece of dirt here and then use it to build the reactor. And it's basically going to go just like this. And you're going to have this wall will run right around, and then this will all be filled in, roof and everything, touching the reactor on each one of these outer edges. And then you will need these special ports. There's 3 different ones that you're going to need to have. One of them is the redstone port, one is an access hatch, and a fluid port. And you can look each one of them up. The fluid port takes a cell surrounded by chambers. The access hatch is just a hatch, trapdoor, surrounded by them. And then the redstone port is a piece of redstone around them. Basically, what each one does is this one puts in or out hot and cold fluid. So you're going to need 2 of these, one for in, one for out. At least that's the way I've found it works best. Then you'll have this, which is your access hatch, which lets you interact with what's inside the reactor. And then you'll have one of these, and you put a lever right there or some kind of way of redstone activating this block, whether it's a timer or a lever, a button if you really wanted to, or a redstone contraption that tells how much fluid is coming in, steam, all that good stuff, and turns it on and off, whatever. And so we will actually probably get this built as soon as I can figure out exactly where I want to put it. Like I was saying, it's probably going to go over there behind this one. You don't have to worry too much about it going critical. I've actually had this one go critical. That's why I'm missing so much of the structural of it. And it basically just starts melting these blocks down because it gets too hot. And when it starts melting these blocks down, then it's no longer a valid structure and it shuts off, I do believe. Because it never actually blew the reactor. The other reactor, 1 second. Hush! Coming! Daggone dog decides in the middle of a video he wants to talk shit. The other reactor I have had blow up, but not on this server. I don't do a lot of research into reactor designs. I kind of do all my own testing on how things work, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. And actually, what made my first reactor blow up was I thought that the overclocked heat vents. Oh, I'm so sorry about that one. Were basically stable. These right here, where are they at? These right here. I thought these were really stable. I didn't realize that they needed to be ran in pairs. And somehow, actually, I had them in pairs. I guess it was a kind of a fluke that I actually had two of them on each side. But for some reason, I had ran my reactor through a couple full cycles and never had a problem with it. And then all of a sudden, I left it on, went to go do some mining, came back, and it had blown up. And not real sure what it was, if it was a fluke in chunks unloading and things, or if it was the server lagging or something that caused it. I'm not real sure. Axel went and checked the server log, and it said that the heat vents had actually started failing little by little, and that's what ended up causing the final explosion. But like I said, I had actually ran it through a few full cycles while I was at my base, and had let it run for hours at a time without shutting it off, and they had never taken any heat damage. So I'm not real sure why it decided to do it when it did. So it's really good if you're going to run a reactor to not let it run when you're not around, or make sure you have some kind of safety device set up. I'm actually going to try to come up with a way of doing that when I set this one up. Alright, let's see. Can we? Apparently not. I know some of these you can just whack them on and they'll work like a bucket. Apparently this one does not want to work that way. I think it's the IC2 machines don't work that way. So we're going to put our drum down here, and we'll put our node here, and that'll fill this bad boy up for us. And you'll notice that you get waste, you get fertilizer. This isn't probably going to be your best way of getting fertilizer. Your best way is with a recycler, but you will get some. So it is a way of collecting some fertilizer. I do remember in the past, though, that this gave I think it was chaff, or not chaff. I got it downstairs. I don't think it was giving fertilizer all the time. For some reason, I remember giving off the same thing that the IC2 blast furnace gives, and I got some of it down here. But I think it was changed, probably, if I'm remembering correctly. Slag. No, it wouldn't have been slag either. Hell, I don't remember. Maybe it has always been fertilizer and I'm just losing my mind. I'll say slag actually gives you coal and a little bit of gold. It's amazing how much freaking coal you can get out of that stuff, especially since it's just using air to make it. It's supposed to be the carbon that's coming off of the process, but to me it just gives way too freaking much. But I guess that's my nuclear talk for now. I've showed both of the setups without completely building this one, which, like I said, I'm going to build it over back yonder. I just got to get a lot of lead made up, and I don't know if I got enough lead to make all of these, or if I'm gonna have to go get some more. Stone's not a problem. I've got all kinds of that. I've actually been doing a lot of mining. I mined out a sapphire vein. Got almost 3 stacks of blue sapphire, regular sapphire, and 3 stacks of green sapphires, and a whole lot of pyrope and almine out of it. Let's go ahead and put these seeds away. You can see my food box is a little diminished because I've been using it all over there for the fermenter. I really got to go through that dirt. I can actually sift it and get seeds out of it. Just haven't done it yet. What did I come down here for? I'm having one of them scatterbrain days, I guess. Can't ever remember what I was doing. One thing I did want to show you. This is the heat reactor, or the heat exchanger, liquid heat exchanger. Now what you're going to do is, when you have your reactor up there and you have this reactor fluid port here, now you can use a pipe, or you can put a fluid ejector upgrade in here, and it will automatically kick the hot fluid out. It'll put it into this side, and then depending on how many conductors the copper and rubber, let's see, I know he's right here, heat conductors made like this. You put these into here, and depending on how many of them are in there depends on how much of the coolant it'll go through at a time. It'll do up to 100 heat output, I do believe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 100. So if you're going to have a pretty good size reactor where you're going to be having a lot of coolant get heated up really quick, you're not going to want to do it this way where you have it going directly into it. You're actually going to want to pipe it out of this, and then probably pipe into a series of these. So you may have, 3 or 4. I think it was Bevo that has pictures up on his website of a way he does it. I think he uses pumps, where he puts a pump beside this, which is actually the way that IC2 has it set up, because they don't have pipes. You put a pump here, and then you put the heat exchangers around the pump, and it will pump the hot coolant out of the pump, out of the reactor, through the pump into the heat exchangers. And then you will either put a Stirling generator, or you can put this steam generator right here onto this side of it. So you'll put it like this, and then you'll use this to create steam or superheated steam, and then pump that out to your would you stop that, you stupid door? I've got to get that door changed. A kinetic steam generator, which with the kinetic steam generator you will end up having one of those kinetic generators that we have behind the wind turbines, will actually go behind this. You will have this here, then you'll put your generator here, and this is how you would create your power. You take one of these turbines, you put it in here, and then you pump the steam in here. If you have superheated steam, you would actually have the superheated steam go into this one. The output of it would be steam, so you would have it go into another one of these, and then its output is going to be distilled water, which would then be put into the steam generator to recreate steam or superheated steam. I have issues with getting this to work. Every time I have tried running the steam turbine, I have these explosions that go off. It also seems like no way that I set the steam generator up will it always say steam. For me, it always says steam or distilled water for the output. So I got to do a little bit more testing with it. And they've actually made it to where it hurts you now when you have the steam explosions. Even with a heat suit on, it will burn you. So we'll play around with that a little bit. I'll probably do it on camera so you guys can see what's happening, and hopefully you guys can help me figure out what I'm doing wrong, and in turn help others that are watching to not have to do the testing that I'm doing, so we can kind of help each other. But that's the basic setup of it. Like I said, if you like to read or can learn things well from reading, Bevo has that website page that shows exactly how he had it set up, and he was doing like this big massive reactor that pumping out butt tons of freaking heat or hot coolant. So maybe, I'm just not making enough power, and that's my main problem. Not real sure, but we'll get into that and figure it out together eventually. Did one of these break? Yes, it did. I gotta get another turbine up there. How are we doing on power? Hey, we're actually starting to get full. Not anywhere near full, but we're getting there. I'm gonna go ahead and make one of those real quick, and then we are going to attempt to get this tantalum out of here and make us a tantalum crucible. This thing should be just about done. Good gravy, it's still got a lot to do. I think with an overclocker, this thing would be running a lot faster. It is really frickin' slow. I cannot believe how slow them things are. Well, the macerator's finally done. Let's see. Does this have a byproduct other than one thing? This is the way I've been doing this now that he added this. Oh, crap. I wish he had the way he used to have where it actually showed a byproduct page. But if you go to the sifter page, it'll show, if you put that kind of gravel ore in, it'll show what you can get. And you'll see it's all manganese. So that means if you washed it this way, you would only get manganese out of it. So if you just throw it in there, you're going to get manganese. So this is a better way of doing it because you have a guaranteed of one piece for every piece that goes through, where hand washing, it's not a guarantee. It runs basically off that same rate that the sifter had. Let me look back in here again, show you what I mean. Use, and then recipe and sifter. See how this says chance 15, chance 10, chance 7.5? That's the same thing I do believe you have when you hand wash it. It might be a little bit better, but I don't think so. So you can wash like a whole stack of things and only get 15 or 20 tiny piles. So if it's something that puts out the same thing for all three of the chance ones, you're better to just throw it in the centrifuge or the washer there, the ore washer. If it gives off three different things and one of them is something you actually need or want, then it's better to hand wash it. So that's the way I make my decision if I'm going to hand wash something or if I'm going to ore wash it, thermal centrifuge it. Let's go ahead and kick this bad boy on and see how close we can get to hitting our 33,000. It's going to take a little bit here because this thing really goes slow. This stuff must be really dense. And I've actually gone through at least a stack of ore. So that would end up being 2 stacks of crushed ore, 2 stacks of dust basically that I've thrown into this thing. So you don't get a whole lot of tantalum out of tantalite. I don't remember from Gregtech 5 what the actual numbers was on how much you got out of some, but apparently it was a whole little bit of nothing. Because, like I said, I've gone through at least 2 stacks of ore and not got a whole lot. But I've gotten almost the full 16 to fill up this crucible. That's probably 15 or just a little bit under or a little bit over. And we only need 12 to make the crucible and 1 mold. So I definitely got to get this out of here. So we do not want this to accidentally get poured, or else we'll burn it up like we did our last one. Man, that is going slow. Only up to 600, and let's look and see how bad our power is getting hit over here. That's still good and full. That's going down. It's trying to fight. Might actually go kick on the solid boiler. I don't have that much charcoal, but I think I got enough to... Damn, my throat is bugging me. Yeah, I got enough to kick it on for a little bit and get some steam out of it. I always have some... Would you open? I don't know if it's my computer or my connection, but I am really getting some lag Look at the used memory, man. This thing fills up and dumps a lot. I don't know why in the heck it's got to do that. I think that's where the lag is coming, is how much it has to fill and dump that RAM. If anybody knows a better way of doing that, let me know, because that is quite annoying. And see, as far as I put this away, it's still trying to fill this damn drum rather than fill my... Where the hell did the damn drum go? Don't tell me it popped outside on me. Oh, it went away over here. One thing I hate about Minecraft, shit just goes everywhere. Never goes where you think it's going to go. But I think that is more because of the multi-block type of thing, because of the way these pipes are. It's not a full block, so it kind of goes goofy. Go ahead and fill this up a bit and let it run. And actually, let's see, it's gonna hold just about 9,000 buckets. That's gonna take all that I have here. I was gonna say I'd put some of it up there, but I'm not gonna have any left. Put that back up there. I wonder if you can actually run this through here. Can't get buckets of this anymore? I thought you used to be able to get buckets of this. I know I can get cells of it. I got one of them. Give me this, and you have to shift when you do it. I don't know why. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Nope, can't put it in there. And there we go, put it back. So this has to have the biogas. Cannot burn biomass. And let's check our power. Still running pretty good there. And see, we are dropping. We just ain't dropping like a rock. I don't go down this because I don't have enough time to get back onto there. And my boots end up taking damage because they're rubber boots. That's why I always hop around that way. Would you stop with this lag? It does this whenever I turn on that crucible. And it shouldn't be doing it because it's got a dedicated power source. It should not be lagging like this because it's got, a dedicated 128 coming out of that into there, and this stays, right at that 299 all the time because it's got a dedicated line from here over feeding 512. So I don't know why we get this update lag when it does that, but it definitely does it a lot when we turn this on. And it didn't used to. Now we're halfway there almost. So not sure what's causing it. Not sure if it's something to do with the RAM in the server like Axel thinks it is, or if it's something to do with us having something not right, I guess. Let's go ahead and turn my sound back up. And not music. We don't want that up. Turn our master volume back up. And let's see here. Oh yeah, we need to build that turbine, didn't we? Forgot all about that. I don't have any wood on me, so we'll get some. Because right now it's raining, it's the best time to have it out there. Get a nice thunderstorm, those things will really cook. 18, 20, 21, 22, 20, 24. If you don't use a saw, you need 24. If you need a saw, I think 18 will do it. Yeah, we'll actually even test it while we're here. So we got a saw. Now, I know we need 12 logs. And yep, 6 will be exactly what we need. And there's our 24 planks. And I'm an idiot and can't put things in here right. There's our 4 blades. And there's our iron. So see, that's why I don't usually use the saw, because I'm using durability on the saw to save 6 logs. And logs are free. They're infinite. You're already using it resources to cut the tree down with the axe, unless you're using a chainsaw, which then you're using power. So why use more to process it? Now, if and when we ever get our sawmill type of thing back, we'll use a sawmill to do it. But most of the time, unless it's a huge job, I don't use a saw. And we're up to 2,000. So we're getting there. We might actually get a crucible made this time. Go ahead and get the hammer and the chisel. Get them ready. Throw that away. This is all the stuff I got sitting here waiting to get processed, which I think in the next episode, after we get this done, we're probably going to use this aluminum right here and make us some more chests, because I'm really running out of space. Oh, we're back up to 33 minutes already. I have a few of these that are depleted, don't I? Fuel rod depleted. Yep. So this one needs to go over to the other side and get processed. I'm going to go ahead and run that over while I got my outfit on here. These you just throw into the thermal centrifuge there. Why'd I hit recipe? And it'll give you a little bit of uranium, a little bit of plutonium, and your iron that you use to make the cell out of. And I got this one, which is a depleted mox that needs to be ran through. So I'll go ahead and throw these in here, and they can run through after everything else gets done. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of crucible work after I get this finally done. I'm going to have a lot of things that need to be cooked. I'm not even sure what that Powell light stuff gives you. I know the wolframite How the hell do you pronounce that? I know it's tungsten. I know there's 2 tungsten ores, and one is this wolfenite, and there's another one, and I don't believe it's the pallite. Actually, I know it's not the pallite. It's in the other mine that I have. This wolfenite came with molybdenite vein, and so did that pallite. Can actually probably look this up a little bit. Gives pallite. And see, I could, make the book with 4 of them, and it'd tell me how to do it or what its use is. But I'm thinking with 1170, that's probably, I think that might even be nickel. I'm not sure. But we'll figure that out when we throw it in the crucible, I guess. How are we doing here? 2742. We're getting there. Let's go check on our power. With both them boilers and all 3 of them turbines up there, power should be doing pretty damn good. And we still haven't dipped into the MFE yet. And we lost another 500,000. We still got another million to go, or 10 million. I didn't count all the zeros. That's what I wanted that MFSU for, was when we get into these large quantities and big density of things that need to be cooked, we really need a lot of power either produced all at once or stored up. And I'm not one for making mass amounts of power all at one time. I like to do it little and store it. Let it work over time, and store up whole bunches of it so I got it when I need it, rather than just have a way of powering everything all at one time. Yeah, we're up to 3,000. So we got another 300 to go, and we'll finally have this done. Come on. 300. Come on. I really like having this up here for these bigger jobs. Really helps to have the extra thermometer to tell you it's actually doing something, because do a big job like this where it takes forever to heat, eventually you start going, well, is it actually doing anything? Shouldn't this thing be done by now? And when you only got this one, unless you want to change it, then you can't really tell what it's at. 31. Come on, 33. I don't think I told anybody in this series yet that we set up a Twitter account for me and Junior to use together. So if y'all want to connect with us that way, you can. It's not going to be one of those Twitter accounts where I post it, I gotta pee, or this is what I ate for lunch, or anything like that. It's going to be more for you guys to connect with me and ask me questions, rather than me update you on, what I'm doing. Holy hell, it's done. Now, I don't know how close we are on power, but we really let's go ahead and kick that off for a second, because I do not want this. That's it. We got 14. I'm going to go ahead and let that cool off so I can pull it out like that, because I don't have a nugget way of getting it out. But now we can finally make our tantalium crucible. I thought that's how you made this thing. I wonder if it's a wrench for this one. Yep. I keep forgetting it's only a chisel for the mold if it's not the ceramic or maybe stone. If it's considered metal, you use a wrench. And there's our tantalium mold. So now once we get this tantalium that's left over in here out, which I should be able to pop right out because I got my suit on. And we can go ahead and take our drill and pop those out of there and pop in our new ones. And they look the same freaking color. And there we go. Now we got tantalium and tantalium. And again, the only thing this is really going to get used for is to make tungsten. And I actually don't know why I'm doing this, because I actually have the tungsten sitting over there. I just showed you that I have tungsten to be processed, and I have a tungsten crucible right here with a tungsten ingot and tungsten plate mold, which I brought over from spawn, but we're going to go ahead and process the tungsten up in here and make it so you guys can see it before I actually use that. So we officially have the ability to make tungsten, which is going to be this right here. This video is like 40 some minutes, so I'm not going to do this on this one, but we'll probably do it on the next one. I'll let this power back up a little bit. Should be going up pretty good now that we turned it off. It's gaining back up pretty good now. So I'll go finish centrifuging that stuff and finally, hopefully, get this thermal centrifuge turned off, and then we'll work on making our tungsten next time. Go ahead and put my overclocker back in there. So I guess that's it for this one. Y'all take it easy. Thanks for watching. And I will catch you in the next episode. And hopefully we'll get our tungsten crucible done. Take it easy.